Good afternoon, everybody. Wednesday, August 10th, 2 p.m. Eastern. We've got our CPI reaction out of the way, and it's a bullish one. So we're going to talk broader market. We're going to talk crypto space, but right now we're certainly in an environment where, again, you got a lot of people on the sidelines or bearish that are just getting more frustrated on a daily basis. And so keeping that in mind as the backdrop of where we stand right now, bulls were looking tired to start this week in both crypto and in stocks. Bull breaks were starting to lack follow through. Clearly, we were slowing down. And the bullish CPI reaction is essentially just a shot of steroids for the bulls to then start looking better again. So we have a couple key resistances in play in the stock market world. We got the NASDAQ futures chart here, testing the high, trying to confirm this bull flag. And the simple statement here is, if daily EMA 12 is support, the bulls have complete control. And we've been holding that EMA 12 multiple times now over the last month. And again, if you're a bear, the bears right now are writing this off as a bear market rally. And maybe it is. But again, it's just slow grind frustration. And every leg up that we see increases probabilities that a bottom is in. And every leg up that we see converts more frustrated bears to the bull side of things. So keeping an eye on our daily stair-step pattern, or not a daily stair-step pattern, our daily higher lows, because we know weekly consolidation is not going to happen as long as those weekly higher lows hold. Right now, the S&P 500, not the S&P 5000, the S&P 500 has the higher high. We are testing weekly resistance. So that is another resistance level to be watching in the short term. We got over it today, but it's still a double top at that level. But believe it or not, right now the S&P 500 from all-time highs to the fear low has seen a 50% retracement, which means we have regained, I guess 49%. We have regained 49% of everything that the S&P 500 gave back. So again, that is a notable enough bounce for me that we will absolutely be scouting weekly higher lows to be the result of the next pullback. And the same thing for me in the crypto space, scouting weekly higher lows due to the size of the bounces. Lots of names like Ethereum would have to drop 50-55% to hit fresh lows. So weekly higher lows will be the most likely result of next consolidation. But the reaction to CPI right now shot up steroids to the bulls saying, no, we're not seeing weekly consolidation yet. The bulls are still in control. So it's not the kind of FOMO where the price is running away and in breakout mode and it's really intense. It's the kind of, again, frustrated, slow grind FOMO where, again, every green day, I promise you, there's more and more people saying, did I miss that buying opportunity? And those people that get converted to that mindset are going to be the people that buy weekly consolidation. And there's a lot of bulls that are going to be buying weekly consolidation as well, myself included. Grab some positions into weakness, but gaining confidence with the size of this bounce, and we'll be looking to add bullish positions on weekly consolidation, but patiently waiting for that weekly consolidation. So S&P 500 is bullish. We have the weekly resistance to be watching, the daily higher lows. And again, these little periods of consolidation, we couldn't go too aggressively bearish because every little pullback was still giving us a higher low. And as long as that remains the case, bulls keep control. The dollar is also still weak. So the dollar dropping to fresh lows is a good sign for bulls in the markets. And the question for the dollar for the next week or two, can we hold weekly EMA 12 or do we lose it for the first time in 6 months? So the daily downtrend is the guide on the dollar. And again, bulls want to see that as weak as possible. So nice to be down near those lows. Little bit of a clue yesterday, just because the weakness in the broader market was not matching the dollar weakness. You couldn't look at that and say, we're going to have a bullish CPI reaction, but it was just one small piece of the puzzle. MARA is very notably strong, up 19% right now. This is our crypto miner, and it's been standing out because it's been stronger than Bitcoin, stronger than all sector peers, and stronger than the NASDAQ. So it's just a bull correlation across the board, getting this monthly some bounce follow through. And even today, just riding up 5-minute EMA 12, bulls in complete control, tons of space for an hourly high or low. And you compare that to Riot, and it's not nearly as strong. Similar, but not nearly as strong. Coin had bearish earnings, so it's certainly not in the same boat. But interesting to see that MARA relative strength, and aggressive bulls will be looking to buy that hourly high or low next time we pull back. It's on back burner watch. We'll be watching for first 5-minute oversold conditions, scouting an hourly high or low. But just looking at this big green market right now, slowly grinding up. So Bitcoin, again, just the perfect timing for a shot in the ass for steroids. And right at EMA, no, not EMA support, right at uptrend support, support of 22.4 thousand, holding as well. We're rejecting from the high of Monday resistance. So we've still got 24, we'll round a little bit, 24.3 thousand and 24.7, both still resistance levels. But again, bulls will be content as long as we just keep holding the support, just keep grinding on up. That will fend off weekly consolidation if bulls are able to pull that off. And it's still easy to justify being bearish or being cash in the crypto space because of the amount of rising wedges that are forming. And so keeping an eye out to see if those rising wedges start to convincingly break bullish. But they have not at the moment, and we'll look at some of them here. So Bitcoin has this double top of resistance. It's attempting an hourly bull flag, but it's starting to see some relative weakness comparative to stocks as bears are defending this resistance. And so if we pull back any further from here, we're then going to be watching for a 4-hour high or low to try and form. And in an ideal world for the bulls, it would be a cup and handle type pattern where we've got our left side of resistance, fail it on the right side, and then bull flag to take out those levels. We're also seeing the dominance chart back to lows. Again, crypto bulls want to see dominance weak, as that shows us altcoins continuing to lead the way up, and they have been doing so this entire bounce. And so bulls want that to continue. So testing the lows on the dominance chart. Ethereum with a nice bull break to a higher high. We were keeping an eye out on this 12-hour rising wedge, and it broke bear, but did not follow through. What was a potential clue for the lack of follow-through? The BTC pairing. So the US dollar pairing broke the 12-hour support level. The BTC pairing did not. And now the BTC pairing is attempting to break out from this channel we've been watching. And so just like if we see the BTC pairings start to pull back before the US dollar pairings, it gives us clues. Well, bear breaks on the US dollar pairings that are not seen on the BTC pairings give us clues as well. And so that was a clue for Ethereum maintaining the ETH BTC support, and Binance had another one as well. So Binance, daily consolidation started yesterday. Look at the BNB BTC bulls defending this support. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times it held, giving the bears zero follow through. And so we can say that daily consolidation on BNB USDT is not going to get any follow through as long as this base of support holds. So that's now a key short-term level to be watching with all those touches keeping the Binance bulls strong. So from here on Ethereum, we do still have the resistance line that we can be keeping an eye on. And again, that's just because there's no real resistance nearby. So I am going to keep an eye on this level. But as far as price levels, previous price levels, you can see not a ton. We've got 1830s, and that's where we are. Okay. So we got up to 1853. This price action right here is in the 1830s or so. Then we're looking up at 1920. Daily higher lows. And again, it's losing a little bit of its clarity because we had a little support level at 1668, and that broke with no follow through. But we are maintaining daily EMA 12. And And so again, after yesterday, yesterday bears started to get some momentum. Like, okay, are we about to roll over into weekly consolidation? We had, you look at the crypto list, and obviously it's a lot of green today, but yesterday it was 4, 5, 6, 7% red across the board. And so we looked close, but another frustration for bears that are looking for that weekly consolidation. ETH BTC, as I mentioned, 12-hour higher lows are our guide, keeping the bulls in control from here. LTC BTC is getting extremely tight. This 2-day equilibrium has been forming for a month. We rejected from resistance. When we last checked in, we were testing that resistance. Now we're pulling back and trying to hold support. This is going to break within the next week, and we're going to see Litecoin volatility pick up, in my opinion. You can see Litecoin is essentially tightening up here. Low, high, higher low, lower high, held support. So we are going to get a breakout or a breakdown, and watch that BTC pairing for clues. And FTT has one as well. So we know we're watching FTT after Binance has been a lead bull recently. In FTT, we've got this daily rising wedge that is still holding support. And again, this can break bull. And if rising wedges break bull, you're going to see some definite FOMO and frustrated bears. But look at FTT BTC. This is now 6 weeks of sideways. And this is going to break, and there will be significant volatility when it does. So the most interesting BTC pairing charts for me are FTT and LTC right now. Because again, it's like a rubber band. Before I called it an equilibrium, 7 years ago, I was calling it the rubber band effect, where you just pull it tighter, 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 the range, and then it snaps. And that leads to the spike in volatility and the volume behind it. So watching to see if these BTC pairings are able to break these tightening ranges bullish for another leg up in the crypto world. Ape had a nice opportunity for bears. So Ape confirmed a downtrend. The 12-hour rising wedge broke bear, but we confirmed a 12-hour downtrend, and even a bear that is shorting off the break of support of 710 had 6% of follow through, but no real follow through. Bigger picture, it was short-term follow through for a day trader, and just keeping that grind up. Again, frustrated bears. If I'm a bear that shorts that Ape 710 and I haven't taken profit and I just gave it all back, I am frustrated. Come on, bears. Where is the follow through? Who is still buying up here? So put yourself in the mindset of a bear and a bull. And again, we're still in an area here where there is, and it's almost a good thing, we have a very split market. We got plenty of bears and plenty of bulls. And so that is definitely keeping things, there's a lot of names right now where we're not breaking recent highs. So are we going to be able to take out recent highs, or are we just puttering around in a tightening range before waiting for the broader market to top out and start weekly consolidation? So it's hard to have a lot of confidence as a bull at these levels. As I've mentioned in the past, I'm much more comfortable as a bull entering on weekly consolidation, looking for that higher low once we get it. But there is still short-term opportunity. So I would be pretty much looking at, shorter-term bull trades and bigger picture bear mindset, watching for the weekly consolidation that is still being fended off by the bulls. So as far as lead bulls, names that have hit higher highs obviously stand out. So DOT is a lead bull. ETH is a lead bull. AVAX I would call a lead bull from the breakout a couple days ago. Link is definitely a lead bull over the last few days. Look at that Link BTC breakout. The weekly, that's LTC. Link BTC, the weekly changed the trend. So this is why we're focusing so closely on Litecoin and all these names. Let's check in on the other ones. ADA BTC, Sideways, Mana BTC. It's in play, but Link BTC confirming the weekly trend change. Since that happened, it has completely changed the character of Link USD. That bull break was 3 days ago, and that is when Link started to stand out as a lead bull in the cryptocurrency space. So watch for those BTC weekly trend changes. And Link's certainly benefiting. 965 is a resistance level. But there aren't a ton of names. Again, as I mentioned, there's not a ton of names that are hitting clear higher highs right now. We do still have a lot of range-bound trading. And it's just those few. Atom, nice bounce right off this uptrend support. Right back to resistance, bit of a V-shaped bounce. Anyone else breaking to higher highs? I don't think so. GMT, so I've been talking about GMT as a lead bear, but I don't like how thinly traded it is. When this hourly candle, $20 million can move it 15% and then we give it all back. For me, if you want high risk, high reward and volatility, then that's what you're looking for. But this is low enough liquidity that the less likely scenario for technical analysis can happen more often. And I've talked about that in the past where, the less likely scenario on Apple, which trades a huge amount and has huge amounts of liquidity, happens much less. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that if you have significant liquidity and require a lot of dollar volume for moves, the most likely scenario is more consistent. But if, $20 million pours in and can move the price 15%, then that opens up the doors to a lot more possibility. So big spike, big pullback. And it's not like you could have even have top fished that spike. That 5-minute candle, where did it go? So that 5-minute candle, the volume behind it was $5 million, and it had a range of 9%. And if you blink, we're now down 8% from that high. So you would have had to have had a preset order to top fish the daily resistance at 120, 116? So it would have been a nice top fish, but again, it was just, that's the noise that it made. So I care a lot less about GMT after seeing that amount of low liquidity volatility. But still keep an eye on Sol in its tightening range. If we go to the 2-day time frame, tightening up. We know volatility is coming there when it breaks. All right. What do you all want to talk about? So long story short, there are some lead bulls heading to higher highs. The broader stock market is continuing to keep bull confidence. Crypto is definitely frustrating bears. We don't have a ton of bull conviction in the short term. I don't have a ton of bull conviction in the short term. We can say now if Bitcoin holds the low that we came from, we have some new stop levels that we can be going off of. So Bitcoin, new key support, 22.6 for me is a must hold. But again, Bitcoin still got multiple resistance levels that it's going to have to work through. And if you don't like trading in this range, it's perfectly fine to be patient and wait for the trade to come to you as far as clarity is concerned. Keep in mind that MARA doesn't have to sell any Bitcoin because they can sell shares. I don't know anything about their dilution and things like that. I've not read the financial statements, but just keep in mind, if you're a public company, your purpose is to sell shares to be able to raise capital. What's the name of the video that details my chart setup? I don't know if it's public anymore at the moment. I'm looking for the link real quick here. I'll post that in the comments of this video once the live stream is over. I will post Dan and Lori's chart setup video link. Howdy from Portugal. Definitely interested in Portugal these days. I think a trip is in the cards. XLM looking for the daily higher low off EMA 12 support. Did we hit hourly oversold? We did a couple times. So not your ideal hourly oversold bounce. But we did hold daily EMA 12. Now we're scouting a 12-hour lower high. There are a handful of names out there where the result of this current bounce will likely be 12-hour lower highs. So that's something that bears can be keeping an eye out for. Let's just go down the list real quick and see who that would be. Ape, potentially, looking for that 12-hour lower high. Doge is looking for a 12-hour lower high. SHIB, a bit less convincingly. Pretty much, the names that have more space for them to form. GMT, certainly looking for a 12-hour lower high. Atom already had a V-shaped bounce. Mana is back testing previous wedge support as resistance, keeping an eye out for a 12-hour lower high. So there are a handful of places where 12-hour lower highs may be shaping up. XRP, haven't looked there in a while. So XRP BTC is not doing anything for the bulls. Heading back down towards support. Very clear resistance level here. Keep it simple. If we do not break that level, XRP bulls are not doing anything notable. That is a triple top. Let's look how many times on the daily we rejected. Triple top on the daily. If we do not get over 1704, bulls are not proving anything. Still battling weekly EMA 12 resistance. Theta. Trying to form a daily higher low on the BTC pairing, which bulls want to see, obviously. Need a 4-hour trend change back to the bulls. So the bulls are attempting to set a daily higher low off EMA 12. And we need, once we top out, higher low and higher high for that daily higher low to be set, and then for us to be looking back at the top of 1715, that recent high. So best case scenario for bulls would be if both pairings can regain 4-hour uptrends. And we see the BTC pairing right now, that 4-hour bounce is weaker than the US dollar bounce. So want to see it. Bulls always want to see the BTC pair doing the same thing or leading. Anything less than that, it's a little bit of a red flag. Jasmy coin. Just clear lower highs. Go to the 2-day time frame to condense it down. We did break resistance back here. So we need the first convincing uptrend. When's the last time we saw a daily uptrend? We haven't had one since back here. These bounces, even this one, where's the higher low, higher high? We're giving back too much. We need to see bulls form an uptrend. So I got a low, high, higher low, lower high, held support, and if we break 1081, that'll be an uptrend. So this coin has definitely not benefited from the crypto strength the last month. It's just sideways. So need to see some clear bull breaks that don't result in big pullbacks right after the breaks happen. Just a note, Lori is going to be doing a webinar. Forgot to mention that. So Lori is doing a webinar on futures trading. And there are some new futures instruments that are coming into play. They don't have a lot of volume right now. But if you have any interest in trading futures, this is going to be a good webinar to check out. I believe it is in 6 days, the 16th. Is that a Tuesday? Yes. So it's in 6 days. And here's the link for that. I'll post that in the comments of this video as well. That is for signing up. Thanks for posting the link. Setting up my chart as well. Even if you don't have interest in trading futures right now, I don't trade futures right now, but I'm going to check out the webinar because someday I very likely will. There are tax benefits, whole bunch of info there. Flux BTC. Nice bull break, but giving a lot of it back. And again, it's just a lack of liquidity that gives these big upper wicks and you give the move right back right away. But it's an uptrend. It's a daily uptrend. Zoom out to the weekly. You could say it's a weekly uptrend as well. So bulls just need to maintain daily higher lows and maintain daily EMA 12 support. So same thing. I mean, just look at, I understand the allure of these coins. Just like why I was interested in penny stocks when I started trading. But if you can drop in 15 minutes, 15%, for me, it's really difficult to apply technical analysis to something that is that volatile due to its lack of liquidity. So I trust my technical analysis on something that moves like this way less. Which is why when I upgraded from penny stocks to real stocks, wow, technical analysis works a lot better on these. It was a very welcomed sight when I made the switch over. I mentioned SPY has retraced 50% of the drop, and Bitcoin is not even close to doing that. Do I expect it to be a laggard? So Bitcoin at this point, absolutely. I mean, the retreat, well, I don't mean absolutely. So Bitcoin is absolutely not even close to this retracement because our drop was $50,000, $52,000, and our bounce at this point is $6,000. So $26,000, putting us at $43,000, would be a 50% retracement. We are not even close. And so the way that I have observed markets recovering from fear is that you see the broader stock market recover from fear, and then that confidence seeps out to all the different laggards. And so I would anticipate that, again, every leg up that we see, there's more confidence that the bottom was set. And so if we see, it would be the kind of example where if we were to confirm a weekly trend change on SPY after the next weekly consolidation, I would expect the follow-through move in crypto percentage-wise to far outpace what the broader stock market does, because that will be, again, a big confidence booster. But again, I mean, that's a bear argument for crypto right now, because Bitcoin on the 2-week time frame, what is that? That's a bear flag. So I need a lot more. I need 20% more to the upside if we're going to start talking about a bear flag being off the table. This monthly bear flag that preceded our significant weakness was a 43% bounce. And we're fairly in line with that right now. So crypto, Bitcoin bulls specifically, definitely have a lot more proving to do. The probabilities that Ethereum is a bear flag, again, it's much less significant for me because the bounce has been much more significant. If Bitcoin's bounce was the same as Ethereum, right now Bitcoin would be trading at $35,000. Percentage-wise, Ethereum bounced over 100%. Got an XLF short on the financial sector. Want this bad boy to roll over into hourly consolidation. Just starting. Nice little double top. When will FOMO really kick in? It's got to be price. So again, there are two kinds of FOMO, and I'm making this up on the spot, but frustration FOMO and euphoria FOMO. And this is frustration FOMO a little bit more in the broader stock market, in my opinion, than in crypto, because crypto does still have these big pullbacks. You know, the S&P 500, when's the last time it's pulled back 5%? It's been a long time. But some of these altcoins have pulled back 5 to 10% on the way up. So at least, you know, the bears get a bone. But euphoria FOMO is the strongest kind of FOMO, which is when the price is really kicking in. And, you know, you see it. I read a Reddit post 2 days ago saying, you know, I sold my Ethereum at 1,600 after an X% bounce, and I really want it back. And should I just buy back in higher up here? So it's the first initial signs of it. But, you know, if we see a green day in crypto when there's a lot of names that are up double-digit percentages. Right now, sushi's up double-digit percentages. We haven't seen one of those days in a while where you've got 12 names up double-digit percentages. That's the kind of day that kicks in a lot of FOMO. Did I miss it? Did I miss the party? Am I looking the wrong way? LRC BTC has to break this resistance zone. So it's definitely weaker, but if that level breaks, it'll then be at its highest level in months. Anytime something happens for the first time in months, it's very notable. So it's definitely just weaker. And if we see, I mean, it's the same thing. Like right now in the broader stock market, you have the leaders. You look at Apple, and Apple has been going up consistently for weeks. And then you look at names that are much higher risk, higher reward, like the cannabis sector. It's like, oh man, they're not participating at all. But if the broader market keeps up this confidence, you know, Canadian cannabis is going to laggard bull break. And it's on the verge of doing so right now. It's just a question of, can the broader market keep strength up long enough to allow for that laggard bull break to take place? So it's the same thing in crypto. Can Bitcoin bulls keep grinding higher to have all the coins that have not really participated in this rally in the same way get their turn? And we saw names like Phil get their turn, very short-lived, granted. And that's a nice double bottom at 767. This is a nice tight range to be watching. We're only going to have confidence that this support level can hold on Phil if we get a 4-hour trend change back to the bulls. So nice little bounce here, but you have to confirm that 4-hour trend change to say nice double bottom hold and continued tightening range. What would I be looking for to get into Ethereum position? If it's a day trade, it's a 5-minute back burner right now. It depends on what you're looking for. So there's a 5-minute oversold bounce trade looking for an hourly higher low approaching. There's going to be a 15-minute oversold bounce trade looking for a 4-hour higher low. There's going to be an hourly oversold bounce trade looking for a 12-hour higher low. A real patient bull is going to wait for a weekly higher low, looking for a swing trade. So it all depends on what kind of trade you're looking for. But definitely back burner after the breakout this morning. That's enough to have bulls watching for short-term oversold conditions, looking for higher lows on the longer-term time frames. Do I wait for daily trend changes when looking for the weekly higher low? Only if I'm really patient, and very rarely. I would much rather look for an entry before then and use a tight stop. So if I'm wrong, I take a small loss and then I get back to patient. So maybe if we see daily oversold conditions, we scale into daily oversold. If we've got daily and 12-hour and 4-hour RSI levels all oversold, I would definitely be looking for a weekly higher low in that position because I make my entries scaling in. I sell into the 12-hour oversold bounce to give myself a break even that is under that low. It's the same thing that I did on the daily drop most recently. I guess that was to 8 weeks ago. But sell partial, stop under the low. If that's the low, you nail it. If it's not the low, stop out risk-free or tiny risk, and then back to patient to rescout that entry again. So ideally, I'd be looking for some oversold timeframes to align themselves to allow my trading style for the trade to come to me to play some oversold bounce, sell some partial position, and try and position for that weekly higher low. So we're just watching this tightening 2-day range. Nothing is going to change as long as we are within it. There will be a volume and volatility spike when it breaks. We still haven't set a convincing 2-day lower high yet. So 37.43 is the most important support, and 46.65 is the most important resistance. And I find a bit more clarity on the 2-day versus the daily at the moment. All right, we're wrapping up here. AAVE BTC, nice bull break on the daily. Definitely a good sign. Need to maintain the 4-hour uptrend from here to ensure that that break has follow through. And we're at the highest levels that we've seen in months, which is always a good thing. There is another resistance level right here to be keeping an eye on. How would I enter a trade if I'm not in one right now? That's as broad a question as how do you trade? So it depends on your trading style. Are you looking bearish or are you looking bullish? Do you like playing oversold bounces? Are you comfortable identifying trend changes? Do you want to play 5-minute oversold back burners on hourly consolidation, scouting an hourly higher low? I know a bunch of friends that love playing oversold bounces that are going to be playing 5-minute oversold bounces within the next hour or two. But if you are a newer trader and you don't like playing bounces, then that's not the trade that you're looking for. Are you a swing trader? If you're a swing trader, then you don't care about the 5-minute time frame. So that's an extremely vague question that depends a lot on you as an individual. There are some people that much prefer to be trading bearish. They're scouting 12-hour lower highs right now. So someone right now is scouting a 12-hour lower high, and someone right now is scouting a 5-minute oversold bounce on Ethereum. And I would say yes, good to both of them, because both of them can absolutely shape up. CGC testing resistance, trying to get that laggard daily bull break going. If you're a crypto bull, you want to see cannabis and psychedelic names breaking out. You want to see that confidence and money flowing around. High risk, high reward traders getting rewarded. Appreciate the likes and the shares. Why did I choose XLF to short over SPY? Because SPY already gave us an hourly bull flag from the pre-market range that confirmed XLF has not seen any hourly consolidation today. Now it has. It's in the process of it. Just a bit more overextended. SPY hourly RSI was cooling off. XLF hourly RSI was still over 80. All right, thanks again. Appreciate you all. Check in on the broader stock market at the end of the day today in an hour and a half. And I hope you all do good things and have a good rest of your day.